We say the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Lost my agenda.
Yeah, but he probably had writing all over it.
Of course I did. Give me a second.
Did he close something?
I'll find it. Here it is. I think that's it. Yep, that's it.
Okay.
See? It's in my pile somewhere. Gotta check off my things. We have minutes for Tuesday, July 25th. Did everybody get a chance?
Did you already read those? I make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
A second the motion? Second. Okay. All those in favor? Okay. It's a piece of cake. Paperwork, we did that. We still have these. We still have these things. The excavator here, did you want to bring Tommy in to talk about that?
I don't care. I talked to about this. I talked to the person at United Rentals about it.
Yeah.
And that's why, did you find out anything?
I called cell phone office
And no one called you
email,
back.
and
Okay. And we get charged $607 for insurance for the month we have it. But they said to me, if we have, which we might have this already covered for leased or rented equipment, then we can take the $600 off.
That probably will cost us less just to even to add that coverage.
Well, that's what. So I had asked Jenny. I called her this morning, and she hasn't.
Who did you call or email?
Mike.
Okay. Is the other one? Do you have the other name of the one that handles Clarissa or Structure the Sea?
Clarissa.
I'll forward. Yeah, I'll forward you an email or contact info.
Because it's for a month. Obviously, it's cheaper to do it for the month. There's an environmental service charge, which they have to charge it like if a battery goes bad or something.
Yep.
And then there's a delivery charge, excuse me, of $184.25 to pick it up, and then obviously to come get it. So,
Wait, but does it stay? I guess. So my question: you got it for a month.
Yep. But they
Is it
have to
gonna
go. They'll bring it here, and then they'll come get it. United Rentals deliver it to us.
But then how do we, right, but then does it stay down there on the road?
Well, I don't know. That's a question that, I assume.
I mean, so therefore it comes with no trailer and that we have to drive an excavator around,
It's a grader, right?
No, it's an excavator.
And it's going from West Lebanon to Indian Lake. That's kind of a
I don't
hike
know.
piece.
I don't know what.
That's kind of a hike to be taking it on the roads.
Raise hell with the road too in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was how the fees broke down. But we could, get rid of that rental, because I asked what everything was. I said, you send me this.
And United Rentals is out of where?
Westbrook.
There's nothing else.
I have no idea.
The southern main tool. Whatever,
I don't think they have an excavator.
Not that big.
Well, how much will it cost us for 30 days?
It's going to cost us, with everything without taking off the insurance, it's $5,079.81.
And we have to furnish an operator?
Oh yeah.
We have to what?
Furnish an operator.
Of course.
Tommy knows. Tommy says he knows.
No. I'm not saying, what I'm getting at is, how much would it cost us if we hired out?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I need to know. Do you know what the rate is? What we pay? What the rate is that we pay?
No.
I don't have that anywhere.
There's only a few dollars difference.
Well, I don't know, I don't know.
He hired an outfit last year, the year before, they were very a small machine. It didn't do a good job.
I wouldn't think this is a small machine.
No.
So anyway, yeah, I mean, we can bring him in, but
I think
mean,
there's
he
I
just
think there's
kinda
enough
gave
que-
us a
I think there's-
total.
I think there's enough questions that I think I'd like to.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I want to know what happens and how does it get in between jobs?
Mm-hmm.
Does it stay on the road while
Well,
you know? Does it stay down there? Or do they kind of put it off the side of the road or whatever?
I hope not.
I mean,
I would hope not.
and
I would
then-
hope they
and
might
then if
find
it's,
somebody.
And then if it's vandalized,
Yeah.
or
What they used to do is
Yeah.
find somebody in
Leave
the area and leave it at their house.
yard.
Yeah.
Dick Thompson used to leave his stuff at my house.
No,
I know
that's-
some. I mean, know somebody that will take it down in Indian Lake. So, but I don't. Yeah. So, but Tuesday's already August 1st.
Mhm.
Which and that's
Well,
when
I
he
mean,
wants
we just got this thing.
to- right.
I mean,
Well,
it doesn't have to be August 1st. I mean, it can be.
Yeah, that's fine. It may be. Yeah, it's 30 days basically. Is all it really
Yeah.
is. So, all right.
So we'll just have.
Have him in for
Do we-
Tuesday.
We furnish the fuel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Tuesday's open, right?
Yes.
So 5:30 for Tom.
Okay.
It might not be a good deal.
Well, I don't know what the rate is for an excavator anyway. I mean, the pay, obviously Jordan's not here, but he would have the pay scale.
These other three are fire. Do we have questions? So I mean, one is the new antennas. I'm assuming this is on station 2.
So are the antennas that are there already
Well, it
broken?
says there's a VHF, new VHF, other one is broken. New UHF, other one is over 20 years old.
Does it still work?
Well, that was kind of my
I
question.
don't know. I mean,
None of them are grounded or have lightning arresters. Okay,
yeah.
so you ground them and put a lightning arrestor on it. I mean, that's what I think. But, so yeah, I guess, and then this was Jenna Cole, took an EMT course through Frisbee, which is under a grant. So she had to pay for testing, so it's $235.
So she.
So again, yeah, but I guess it's a CPR receipt here, which is, it says here, the EMT exam, EMT EMR exam, is $115, and then there's another $40 to New Hampshire CPR. I don't know why. I don't really know what that one is.
Well, what does it say on the front? Did he put a next?
No, it said he just lumped it all together, and he said that she took a course through Frisbee under a grant, but she had to pay for testing. So
Okay.
that looks like the testing, which is $115.
For
But then,
the CPR?
no, this was EMT EMR exam is $115, but
Okay.
this one here to New Hampshire CPR for $40. I don't know. Do you have to pay the testing to them too? I don't know.
Well,
And then there was this that went to the National Registry for EMT to Ohio for $80.
yeah. Well,
So again,
I
I-
think he needs to explain.
And so I
this
mean,
to
again,
us. Yeah.
I don't know if that's testing.
I don't know.
I mean, it's a national registry is what I say. I mean, and then, so that just brings the question is, do we do national registries for everybody? I'm assuming, or I don't know.
Yeah,
so-
yeah. I'd like to have him
So
come
there's questions
explain it,
there.
'cause I don't know.
This is the repairs of the pump and primer on Forestry 1. I guess it cannot draft from a pond. I don't think it has suction.
Which forest, I didn't think we had a
Forestry one.
forestry truck anymore. Is that the one they sold? No, there was a different one? Was that the one we bought?
That's a little guy. I think.
The
No, I thought
little
they
guy.
bought a used one. I thought they bought a used one from somebody.
Forestry one is the new one that they purchased.
Well, so
when
it's a
they
used one that
decided-
they purchased, right?
Yes, it's a used one that they purchased, they had it repainted and everything, nice little truck,
And how much is all
That's what
that?
they only did that a year or two ago, right?
last year.
Yeah. That's $1,200.
Mhm.
So, so again, this is from Eastern Fire Apparatus for doing that. So that's that.
Mhm.
I mean, that one we kinda need to do, I mean, it's a forestry, I mean, we kinda,
Mhm.
you know, so I mean, you wanna hold these antennas, ones and that one
Yeah,
until later, and then we'll
just
do,
so he can explain or somebody can.
you want,
Yeah, did he already have that done?
it doesn't look like it, this is
Oh, okay.
this is an estimate or valid for 30 days.
Okay.
So this was, they're out of Eastern Fire, I guess is out of Milton.
Mhm.
So and that was on 7/12, so the estimate was, so.
27.
So that's that one. We'll hold off on the others.
I can help you on that Jenna Cole one too if you want, so they have written testing.
Yeah,
which
no,
is done by one,
I'm
and
gonna,
they have-
yeah, that's fine, no, I'll let Chief,
Yeah.
I mean, I
they just-
understand that you may know,
yeah,
I just,
know about it,
Yep.
so I thought I'd just clarify it for you if I could.
I'll let Chief explain.
Hey, Laura, give me that.
The black book?
The
Or
blue
the
book.
blue book?
Blue book.
Thanks, Jenny.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Will you please do? Don't, sorry. He does something, don't touch it. I know I can touch something.
Did you have any other paperwork for us?
Nope. That was it.
Then. Do you wanna bring Chief in on Tuesday, do we have anything on Tuesday?
No.
Do you wanna bring Chief in on Tuesday then too?
Sure.
Okay. Let's do Chief at 6.
6, okay.
Yeah. Let's see, I am working, Jenny's computer is gonna have issues when we go to the new email system because it's so old.
Okay.
It's not gonna be able to run the new email system after like October 31st.
Okay.
So I'm looking at trying to get that desktop upgraded and looking at different options.
Okay.
The tech company will switch everything over, we'll hook it all up, we'll move all her stuff from the existing computer over to the other computer and all that kind of good stuff.
Okay.
Because the other thing is she also doesn't have, part of it's her Word is her Microsoft Office is out of date as well. So if we upgrade that, we're spending money on, and it may be $300 to buy Office, but yet
Right.
you can buy a machine with Office
Okay.
at a lot cheaper because when they come prepackaged. So that's what we're looking at, and they're advising not to spend more money on this computer because it's out of date. It really is. It's past. I think it's the shelf life or whatever on the processor ended in like 2008. So it's so I don't know. They tend to go with Dell. They tend to use a 5-year warranty with Dell, which means that they'll come and replace everything, which is fine. But there's also a lot of back to school stuff right now.
Mhm.
So, and I'm kind of a techie guy, so I don't know whether I can get one the same specs that they're doing.
Mhm.
I'm not sure how important a 5-year warranty is actually. It's important when stuff goes bad,
Mhm.
but the chances of stuff going bad is, it's, if anything, it's a power supply and you swap out the power supply like Jordan's was and it's up and running.
Right.
So I don't,
Right.
but it also doesn't look like the Dell warranty is that expensive. It's like $130 for the 5-year plan, so that's almost might be worth it. So
Okay.
I'm looking into that. I guess is the bottom line. So let me just double check to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Because we do have stuff to remove. I figure I'll get all this other crap out of the way first, and then we can talk about auction stuff. So, I talked to Mary today, attorney, because I got conflict information about the road cut policy, the excavation policy, street opening policy, about whether that could be an ordinance or a policy, and where it's a state law. The state law gives us a lot of authority, and so because the state law gives us authority, as long as the policy is coincides with and more or less with state law, then you can use that policy because the state law gives you that authority.
Okay.
So we don't need an ordinance, and so, but I need to check to make sure that my draft doesn't extend beyond the state authority, because then I need an ordinance.
Okay, yeah.
And my concern is we're trying to get a permit in place now for what's already happened before the road is done. And if I wait until an ordinance, that's not gonna happen at the soonest in November. So I may do a policy, and even if we had talked about like a surety bond, that may be overextending what the state allows. So we may pull that off for this one.
Right.
Do the policy, have the policy in place, and then we can make that policy, put the other things on, and now make it an ordinance in November. But at least we have a policy now. Do you follow? You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm working with Mary about, to try to figure out the best way to do that. Cemetery, I gotta find. I talked to her about the trust. The box that he had supposedly didn't have the trust paperwork, so I may have to reach out to Milton. It had a lot of the records and the dollar amounts, but the actual trust language itself, I don't remember seeing in there. Mary doesn't remember seeing it in there. Milton may or may not have it, so I need to find that. I told her my vision of what I wanted with cemeteries and everything else, and she thought that was a good, a good structure to do. So we'll see. So that's where that one was. Hebo Hybo, they're still looking at. She's got to get me an update on that from Conservation Commission. I just talked to Lily today at 3. That's when I'm bringing those up now. John had sent me something about a town forest. To reach out, what do I thought about a town forest? That property up there, making that into a town forest. I actually did some research that he actually sent me an email. I haven't read it back yet, but he replied to an email. But there's actually a lot of areas that are doing town forests coming back, because you're harvesting the timber. Whether you use the timber for some places have used the timber to do the schools for heat. They switch over if they have the ability. They switch over. They switch over from an oil burner to a wood burner outside, and they're using that to heat the school, and it saves some money. Things like that, they're being creative, but they're using the wood. I mean, now whether we just sell the wood or whether what do we use that money for?
Right.
That's all part of a town forest. You could have walking trails. You could have a trail system through it. So
that'd be nice.
So that's and I talked to John, and there's like a 1-sentence state mandate that says home rule municipalities can have their own town forest. So there really is. I checked with Mary to see if there's. She's going to double check. I checked with her to see if there's any other legal loopholes we had to do to go through to do that, but I don't think there are. I think we just say if the town wants to make this lot over here a town forest. But I'd asked John. I sent an email to John and said we probably ought to have some sort of a plan.
Right.
So that we know what we're going to do with it. We know how it's going to be managed. Are we going to have trails? Or where the wood is going to go to? Whether we harvest, all that kind of good stuff. I think would be more beneficial. People can get more behind it.
Yep.
If you do that. So like I said, he's responded, but I haven't actually read that yet. So that was that, and then if you remember back, we had 3 code enforcement items that were pending legal action. So after they play phone tag, I guess she's sending out 2 legal letters.
Okay.
To basically put some muscle behind Mike, because they're not listening to Mike. So that helps add some muscle. And then the third one, she's asked Mike to do some more research.
Okay.
Because he needs a better citation, or there's a major offense that that while he says they can't, she needs to know what that citation is. It's not just, so he's got to do some digging. So that's where those stand. And I think that gets us up to date.
Good.
So yeah, that's that, I think. I'm getting there. I sent an email out to NextEra Energy, so I haven't heard back from them. I did research on, remember last meeting I was for contingency, moving money from contingency to roads. So I went back and looked at the minutes to see exactly how everything played out. So on May 10th at the meeting, we pulled back 13 out of the 23.
Okay, so the previous board had given him 23.
And we pulled back 13.
So
that's essentially, that gave him 10.
Okay.
Okay? So follow my math.
Okay.
On the 11th, so the following day, and we did that right off the bat. Just I remember I said, no way, I want to pull this back. Then we actually met with the treasurer. I think we met with Tommy. That was literally the next day we met. And that's what we talked about. And so we added, at that one, we added another 5.
So then it was up to 15.
So that brought it to 15. Okay, because we felt that would be enough to get them through. Then on June 29th, so this is just before the end of the year, we made a motion to do 3,000 to the roads. Okay, and so what this is really that it's $37.96. That this is including that 3,000. So in other words, I only have to move an additional $796.70.
Okay.
I could either amend that motion or I just move the additional. I think it's just easier just to move the additional since it's already in here, so we don't have to amend it, go backwards. So I'd like to make a motion to move $796.70 from contingency to highway for the last year. And this is all coming out of last year's budget, fiscal 2017 budget.
Okay. I'll second it.
All those in favor? I mean, it does. If we had moved more, it still would have gone back to the general fund, so it didn't really. But so now we know, and so basically they went over budget by $18,796.70. That's how much they went over.
Yeah, and
a lot of that was the snow.
That snowstorm
Yeah. So
yeah. Okay.
So that's that. All right. So that clears that up.
Yep.
I'll just pass this around, let you guys look at it. I don't know. This is basically, I got from Dale as far as all the write-ins for budget committee. All the single ones. A lot of people got one vote for write-in for here and there. So again, we may look at who.
Didn't Karina Cole come in 5th?
Yep.
So.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what she's
we can see if she's still interested. Again, it really, it's really up to us.
Absolutely.
We really only have one more position, permanent position, and then we have 2 alternates.
Don't we only have one alternate?
I thought sometimes I had 2 but they never filled
it.
I didn't even look. Yeah, probably look at the ordinance.
I think there's only one.
Okay.
I believe so.
All right. But ultimately, we can look at the makeup and know, who would be good for it. I mean, whether they came in 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th, I don't.
It doesn't matter.
The bylaw, the ordinance, basically leaves that power up to us. I put a question mark down there. I didn't know. Would she have an interest, you think?
No.
Okay. I just thought.
No. Definitely not. There's someone I'm gonna ask, she had expressed an interest, and I don't know if she's still interested, but, I mean, I don't care, but, well, we put it out there for people to put their names in, right? You've only heard from Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean.
Yeah, but the other thing is that my grant writing person that I got a referral that I called, took it. She went to respond on her own. She probably didn't even see it.
Right.
So there's a lot of people in town that may or may not see it.
Joyce had expressed interest.
Nancy Wyman today just saw the grant writing. She actually has an interest in the grant writing.
Oh.
She's also interested in the cemetery committee.
Well, she'd be good at that. Yeah.
But again, so sometimes they don't see it.
Right. I'm going to ask her if she's interested because she was before. She would be a great person.
So I'm just saying
yeah.
I just think, I want to check with Paul Philbrick. But Andy LePage, I think would be great for planning board.
Yeah.
With his background, I think he would be good for planning board.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
But again, do you think he sees our stuff? He probably doesn't see our stuff. He's too busy.
Right, but no.
So I'm gonna call him up.
So I'm gonna call Joyce because she had expressed an interest, and personally, she'd be great because she does it. She lives here, but she does it somewhere else. So she'd be great, and she was on the comprehensive plan before. She had started helping the last time too. So
So it's fine. Yeah, I'm just saying is that I think sometimes we need to be proactive and reach out to people that we think that would fit.
Absolutely.
Hey, you need to see us or?
No, I just need to see Jennifer.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think that's great.
So, okay. All right. What's that? What else do I have? What's that?
He'd be a good one.
Oh.
Keith.
Oh, Troy?
Yeah.
If you would. I mean, I don't know if you would.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I just said he'd be a good one.
I got these are what we have in Elliott. I just brought one it's
It's white this time of year?
No, this is what they keep it all the time because they put the registration there. No, we put the registration number.
Yeah, but are the attendants actually checking that registration against the plates?
Isn't that their job?
That's a pain in the ass to do.
Well, then why are we putting stickers on them?
Because again, if the color, you can see a color.
Okay, so I'm just giving you this. They have hand tags, and what we do is we put the registration, and then we put an R if they're a resident. If they're a non-resident, we do some. Oh, and sometimes we write notes.
So they have no stickers. It's all everybody just is the hanging one.
Well, we have paper bag too. They have to buy the bags.
Right. See, that's a lot different. Right?
Yeah, it is.
Controlling it.
Yes. Yeah. So and we have cards too for like 30 days.
So that's why you don't really care. They're paying for the bag. That's covering.
Keeping what we've got, change the color.
Well, that's fine.
I think
Yeah, that's fine. But I just want to bring you this.
We can do cards like that for people that don't want a sticker. But again, those colors have to change with the sticker is what I'm thinking.
So, either they hang this up in the mirror, which most people probably just show it.
I don't know. I got to find out where we get different colored stickers every year, different years. Do you know where? Well,
any printer, any print and place.
Well, what do we get? What do we get our stickers for? How do we get?
I believe they get them from Digital in Somersworth. Are they in Somersworth?
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Then they may be able to help us out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and then the assessor came in today. Do we
need to do anything? Should we be doing something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we have been doing stuff.
Well, I know, but I mean...
As far as... Well, yeah. Friday I spend all day pulling deeds out of the...
Well, I know, but I mean, is there something we can do on weekends or at night?
Not right. They're doing a lot of it right now. Because it is we're really kind of crunch time, and so instead of them trying to train us and trying to, it's
Absolutely.
easier for them to just say, here's the stuff, and then they go work on it.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
know, and a
absolutely.
TAC team back at their office and
Yeah.
get through everything. So we'll have more stuff once we get through this commitment
Okay.
and get caught up. And they're actually already having her starting to put stuff in the system.
Mhm.
So, but the stuff that she's putting in isn't vital for the commitment. It's just getting the data. It's just data entry, so it's just it's labor, which obviously we can do. So, no, this is about they created. This is about the abatements. So they created a form letter that will be put on letterhead. That basically there's different. It's a mail merge, so there's 170 some odd different abatements.
Okay. Yep.
So, for one thing or the other or both, it's just that's how many there are.
Okay.
Most people have a shed. Most people have. If they don't have a shed, they have a garage because they store stuff someplace. So it ends up being a lot of people.
Okay.
The best way to do that, obviously, is what they call a mail merge. You might be. Are you familiar with mail merges? Mail merge. A mail merge takes normally a lot of times the easiest way to do it is you have it in a spreadsheet with all the columns being what they call a field.
Okay.
It could be name, address, whatever. Then you can create in Word, you can create a form letter and you put in fields, name, address, the fields that correspond to your spreadsheet.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And then you merge them. So then what happens is Word then creates automatically at the press of a button 170 letters, just like that.
Oh, so Jenny doesn't have to do that.
With all the data, all the data.
Wow, that's.
So this letter, for example, so I'll read the letter. Unfortunately, it's a little hokey based on some of the fields. So example, the name ends up being owner 1 and owner 2.
Okay.
Owner 1 is last name first, then first name. So that's the little hokey part. So it's addressed to. I don't want to read the names just because I don't want to. But anyways, it's addressed to owner 1 and owner 2.
Okay.
And it goes to the Lebanon Board of Assessors have granted a tax abatement for, and then there's a dollar amount that comes from the spreadsheet of valuation and a dollar amount, again, spreadsheet, so that's depending on who it is, tax dollars for the 2016 year on map/lot. Again, that number comes from the spreadsheet.
Yep.
Trio account, again, the account number from the spreadsheet. So all these little fields get filled in automatically. The valuation is reduced to apply calculations for outbuildings and garages that are consistent with calculations on other property in Lebanon.
Okay.
The 2016 abated tax referenced above will be applied in the form of a tax credit towards the 2017 taxes on this property. Due to the time demands of processing abatements and a timely 2017 tax commitment, property owners, and this is underlined, property owners who want a check instead of a tax credit must notify the town by request before August 15th, 2017.
Okay.
Doesn't give much time.
No.
But we got to get it because we have to know before commitment whether it's a credit or whether we already.
Yeah.
So the valuation reductions presented in this 2016 tax abatement will be applied to the 2017 valuations before taxes are committed in 17. Please direct any inquiries to the Lebanon Board of Assessors, 15 Upper Gate Road, Lebanon, Maine 04. And then it's signed by us.
Okay.
So that's kind of what the we gotta find a way to get electronic signatures. I don't want to sign 170. I gotta figure out how to do that. I'll have to ask John.
I have a stamp. If I
Stamp
need to. I do.
guy came the other day and asked if you needed stamps.
I have a stamp already, but
Well, I still don't want to stamp 170.
yeah. No, that Jenny would do that, wouldn't you?
Yes, of course.
Unless we get a stamp with all of our signatures on it, and then Jenny can do it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we just don't sign it and it's Lebanon Board of Selectmen. Because, so that's that. So I have a spreadsheet that And so this is actually the document that we would sign for the abatements to give to the town clerk with the attached list. So again, I don't wanna sign 170 separate abatement forms, which is what we normally do when we do an abatement. Rather than, I have this list, and I have it on a computer as well, and she can sort it any which way she wants, which is better. But this is kind of the document that gives that authority that we would sign to give her the authority to abate those back. And it basically is saying exactly what this is saying. I just had her take out the stuff that applies to an individual. My only issue is when right before the meeting, when I did this spreadsheet, and I actually told her that this didn't have a total on it, so I said, I'm gonna total it up. I'm just curious how much are we abating back. It didn't match what we had originally done on our spreadsheet, which is also the spreadsheet they used to create this one. So there's a discrepancy somewhere, and I don't know where, and I found this at 4:45. I called John, he's in Farmington, so I don't, and of course it was after Rob left that I found it, because the assessor was here today. So I kind of wanna understand before we say attached list, I kind of wanna understand that number. It's roughly 27,000 in total dollars that we're doing, is what that number is, but I wanna make sure I understand which it is. And we have enough of that in our overlay so to cover that, so it's not, that's not an issue, it's just, but I don't wanna say the attached list and then have to amend the attached list, I don't wanna. But I also don't wanna delay getting this done. Because I gotta get out there so people have at least hopefully 14 days they can do that, we're already running out of time. So, I was thinking about working on this tomorrow, hopefully I can get a hold of John tomorrow, if I can't get a hold of him, I will check every single number to find out what I was trying to, hopefully I can
How much is it off by? A lot?
$500, something like that. But it's still, even if it's off by $1, I don't know where the discrepancy is. And I was hoping I could ask him, he might have an idea without me having to go and check number by number to make sure. So, and I want her to be able to do the form letters, but I can't, I don't know, where do we go, how do I do this so that we can continue working, or once we do this tomorrow, once I know what these numbers are and I feel confident in these numbers, how do I get us together so that we're whatever, so that I can give her the go-ahead that we can generate these. Do you understand my problem? I don't know, I'm asking for.
Oh, because if that had matched, we would have given her the go-ahead already,
We
right?
would have signed it today, yeah.
Okay.
I would have had, if everything matched, we would have been, I planned on doing this today, having us sign off on this, and she's off and running tomorrow with my help, but she's off and running tomorrow. So that's, but that's, I can't, I'm not sure I'd wanna sign something that I don't know what the final number is necessarily.
Well, yeah, that's not wise.
Are you guys around tomorrow?
I am in the afternoon or.
In the afternoon, I mean, could we?
Is tomorrow Friday?
Tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah.
I mean, could we?
Or, if she could fax it to me, I could sign it or whatever. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with that, or scan it or something.
I don't mind. I think it's okay for us to create the letters. Even if we just have a verbal.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't wanna hold up the work. We may not get this stuff out in the mail until Monday.
Right.
But I don't want the mail, cause we gotta do a mail merge, we've gotta print out all the letters, we gotta print out all the envelopes. We still gotta stuff 170. So that we can go then get it to the mail, so that's why.
Well, would it be done, you think, by the weekend? I mean, we could I don't mind coming in on the weekend if I had to do what we have to do to make sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to make it happen by tomorrow, by noon at the latest. I wanna get it done tomorrow morning.
Okay.
So I don't wanna delay.
But if you need my signature, if you could scan something to me, I could sign it. I mean, but you don't think we have to do that? No,
I mean, again, if you wanted to come in the afternoon and sign this, that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't think I have to make a motion because we're signing this document, which is a public document. That's just like making a motion. I don't think I have to make a separate motion for something that we're signing anyways.
Well, we agree that we're gonna give these abatements,
Right.
you know.
So, I just, so again, if we can get signatures tomorrow afternoon on this document, that then gives us official.
Well,
But
at
if I
least
can
if
get-
two of you can sign it, then it is official, and
No,
I'll
I
still
just-
come sign it, but,
But
you know, if you need it signed earlier.
But if I can get a verbal earlier so that I know
Mhm.
we can print,
Mhm.
then this will follow before we send anything out.
Okay, yeah,
Does that,
that's fine,
does
yeah.
that sound fair?
Yeah.
Alright. You good with that, Jenny?
Yeah.
What choice do you have, right?
I know, exactly.
Alright, so I'll hold on to that. I don't think I had anything else. Before we go into our other stuff, I did have did you guys ever get a chance to look at the expense report that we just
Is
got?
this the new one?
Yeah, 725.
But is it for the new year?
Yes.
Okay.
So interestingly enough, so how I look at it is I don't really look at dollars. I look all the way on the far right hand side, which is percent spent. That's my quick check, especially this early. So 1 month is 8.3%. So basically that's 1 divided by 12. It's 8.3%. So this is 725 and includes so far. So we shouldn't be more than 8.3% on anything. Unless it, do you understand? Certainly for the whole department, that means we're already behind the 8 ball. So going through here, one that caught my eye was under dispatch, which is the second page.
Yeah.
We're already at 21.4%, and I thought we paid them like monthly.
I thought the tower thing was monthly.
This is services, so is it quarterly then? Do we pay them ahead quarterly? That might be more. That might explain it more.
One of them we do pay quarterly.
But again, so you can see that kind of drew my attention because it was at 21% already. So that was a big flag. It's like, okay, Jordan's not here obviously, so I can't ask him. I did look at highway roads. So again, this is one of the ones that we're gonna and that's a big one today because the budget was reduced a lot. We're really gonna have to keep an eye on those things, and so when I went through percent spent, there's several 10%. Backhoe maintenance, 76%. That backhoe thing with that hydraulic leak in the cooler, boom. So, that was almost all of that. Hauling is already at 36%. Signs is already at 23. Coal patching is already at 23.
The signs, that's a never ending pit.
No, I know.
Gosh.
Yep, no, it's a money pit, I hear you.
Ugh.
Coal patching is a money pit too.
Yeah, it is.
But these are the numbers that Tommy needs to be aware of. Because otherwise, if he just does it like he always does, we're gonna be out of money in December.
Well, he can't do that.
So he's coming in Tuesday.
Yeah.
So I think I just wanted to, I think we need to discuss that with him so he understands. Maybe he gets this, I don't know does he get this, does he look at this kind of stuff, weekly or monthly or?
I have no idea.
I think usually they print it monthly to them,
Do they?
them, I believe they.
I mean, certainly he should be kind of keeping an eye on this and staying on top of that.
Yes.
Because otherwise he's gonna run into issues by the end of the year. And again, you got a pothole, you gotta fix it, I understand that, but it's, let's see, board appointments, we talked about that. The only other thing that came up, on my way home, because this is all I ever think about. We had talked about a newsletter.
Yes.
And, I'm thinking we're doing a comprehensive plan.
Mhm.
That information would be great to get out to people. We're gonna be doing field work assessing. Be nice to put something out there for people.
Well,
We're
that they voted for this.
Right, we're looking for-
Reassessing, this is what we're doing.
We're looking for volunteers for different things. Again, summertime, I'm thinking if you do a quarterly newsletter, like a seasonal summer, obviously, I'm not sure I wanna mail them because it's pretty expensive, and so I'm thinking of.
I would mail it before our annual election. I think that would be important, but the others, we could make them and distribute
Well,
them.
that's what I was thinking is distributing and literally if it's I can make up some boxes to put them in, but whether we put some, see if these places will take a box. And we just put them in a box and we can let people know so they start to think that they're gonna be there. Put one at Mobile One, at Hometown Mobile.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And just.
Do you like this idea, Paul?
Well, I'm just saying,
No.
even put one at trains, I don't know.
No, they
Yeah,
don't.
any place.
I mean, any
The
place.
Over to
transfer
Jimmy
station.
We could put one at the transfer station right on the building.
Right, here's
You
the
know what I'm saying? The
newsletter.
Used to put them in Jimmy Boucher's store.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
no,
I just-
absolutely.
Any place I can think of to get them distributed. Rather than mailing. And obviously we can put a link to it online.
Right.
But
No,
having
I
hard
agree.
copies and
I
it's
agree.
and if you just do it one page front and back,
Absolutely.
there's a lot of information you can get out with one page front and back.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's
So is
very
that-
important. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
all right. So you good with publishing and doing that kind of stuff yet?
I will be.
You're gonna learn? Cool. Good attitude. Because I'm not either. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
So I just think that's
I agree. I totally agree.
I think you and I both ran on communications and that helps.
And maybe
Get
when
the word
soccer
out.
starts, they'd let us put a little box there and here's
Yep.
the newsletter. Or
Yep.
I don't think they'd pass them out at school, but you probably could put one at the school, Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just I'm
but
just trying to find out.
absolutely.
And
I think
again,
it's a
talk to
great-
people. Hey, where do you go?
Mailing would be $900.
Yeah.
Well, we can't-
No,
we
it's
can't
just
do
we don't
that.
have the money for that.
No, we can't do that. I think before our annual election, we definitely should mail something.
We'll see what kind of response this
Yeah.
gets. If people are doing this, then
Yeah.
maybe we don't.
Yeah.
The trouble with that, it doesn't go to East Rochester
Well,
Post.
anytime we ever mailed anything, we would take the time and get the commitment book and we'd look for, or I think they could sort it by, but we would hand mail them. We would do it ourselves, but we did do that, but
Yeah, I don't know.
to the out of towners.
So talk to people and see where they congregate and where they just try to think of ideas of where to put some sort of a bin or something where we can put 50 newsletters in or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think
And if they run out and want more, they could call us and we could
Yeah.
get them to them.
we can print out some more and
Yep.
we can put a box right out here so people can
Absolutely.
take it here and
Absolutely. Paul could do that. He could deliver them.
I go to hometown now and then.
be our newsletter deliverer.
Yeah, the newsletter
Delivery
deliverer.
man? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll work on think about content as well. Like I said, I know comprehensive planning board is certainly one to give. I'd like to just where we are in the process. I'd like to be able to give them an update of what we're doing because again, it gets them more involved. We may be looking for surveys. Hey, we're going to be so I think that helps.
Absolutely.
Again, certainly the assessing. I think getting that word out helps.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if they're aware of what's going on, we can reach out to the other departments if they've got whatever they want to.
Yeah.
Same thing from fire, and again, maybe fire department wants to put a little blurb about what's
Something. Yeah.
So just to, all right. So, I think that's all. Do you guys have anything before we get into
No, I don't think so.
selling property?
No.
All right. Do you guys have any questions on all this stuff that we just did?
When would you be planning on trying to get this newsletter?
As soon as possible when I have time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's a function of summer is my thinking is summer versus seasonal. So summer is only good for another month and a half. So that's kind of my deadline to try to get one out because again there's seasonal taxpayers during the summer that I think might like to know what goes on. So
Not seasonal taxpayers. They're taxpayers.
so seasonal residents then let's put it that way. who are taxpayers. But anyway, so that's, I'd like to try to get it out, sometime,
Hopefully a month.
before the end of August, I guess, yeah. Yeah, so,
Thank
once it's gonna be, this one may be a little slower, because we gotta get the process down. Once we figure out a template, the next ones are easy, just put in new information, but the rest part of it is easy.
Google.
So,
Alright, Jenny's all over the
There may be a blood
template.
drive coming up.
huh?
There may be a blood drive coming up this month.
I did hear a blood drive,
August.
August.
yeah, I just got that email today, I don't remember the date.
You'll have to make your own, huh? You'll
So,
have to make your own appointment. I'll give you the phone number though.
so,
Oh, geez.
alright,
You say?
You're gonna make your own appointment.
for
now.
blood drive.
For a blood
Yeah,
drive.
because I usually make it for him, but I can't. They won't let you
So-
unless I have to have your social security number and I don't want it, so,
That's the end of that. Paul says no.
yeah.
Alright. Anything else? Okay, let's talk about tax acquired properties.
Okay, so we're doing 2.
I actually have a folder here about it. Some of it's your letter and stuff. Yeah, I think it was 2 that we talked about, right?
Yeah, especially this one. We gotta do this one.
Beat up double wide on Cemetery Road, is that one of them?
Yeah.
That's one, right?
Yep.
That's what I have in my notes. Beat up double wide, light blue, sell, exclamation.
Yeah.
And then, the other one was the mobile home somewhere, right?
Yeah, upper middle, lower middle, wherever it is.
Ah, that's
Upper
right,
middle,
yeah.
62
Mobile home,
upper.
2-car garage, right, 62 upper, right. Yeah, those are the 2. Yep.
The 2-car garage can go with it.
No, that's what this says
Just a
here.
mobile home.
That's what this says here in my notes, yep. So what do we, this was your thing, right? That's what I got.
I would assume we'd put minimum bids that we want.
Yeah. Yeah, this was actually in the it's a Maine Municipal talking about tax acquired mobile homes. Former owner did not own the lot, so we acquired no land. Now that we have a buyer for it, what is the proper method of conveying? They are considered real property for property tax purposes. They are treated as personal property for purposes of personal sale. So they should be conveyed by a bill of sale, not a deed.
Absolutely. Yep.
So, I just happened to find that. That's just that one. I have a bunch of stuff here for tax acquired properties, but some of these were sale by public auction, maybe municipal. We're not doing public auction. Notice an impending automatic foreclosure. Nope, that's that. That's that. So this is I had some of these things from, I think these are Lebanon. There's this one here, it's for sale by sealed bid. Town of Lebanon, Maine is accepting sealed bids. This, again, I don't know. And this was on property foreclosed on by the town of Lebanon due to non-payment of taxes. The property will be transferred to the successful bidder chosen by the town of Lebanon Board of Selectmen. The successful bidder will be responsible for payment of the bid as well as all costs associated with the closing on the property and all legal fees and any other costs associated with any individual parcel. Interested persons should submit their sealed bid to Town of Lebanon tax bid, care of Board of Selectmen, 59 Picayune Road, by 9:30 on Saturday, March 31st, 2012. So it gives you an idea when this one was done. At which times the bids will be read aloud. The Town of Lebanon Board reserves the right to accept and or reject any and all bids. To determine which bids, if any, are in the best interest of the Town of Lebanon and to waive any irregularities in the bid process. Once a successful bidder is determined, the individual will have 30 days to submit a municipal quitclaim deed to the Town of Lebanon, and it will be the responsibility of the successful bidder to ensure the accuracy and ownership and ability to accept property by municipal quitclaim deed. Although with a mobile home, we're not, right?
Mm-mm.
So we may have to adjust this then.
Yeah,
Well, this is fine for the one, because
Right.
that is a deed. It's a mobile home on a property, but it is on land.
yeah, so there's a deed for that. Someone.
Successful bidder will be required to execute a municipal notice and acknowledgement form waiving any legal action against the Town of Lebanon. No warranties or guarantees can be granted by the municipality. For complete information, Mr. Party should contact Sue Collins. So, and then it has listed properties, is what.
Yeah,
that
does
is what that
does it
one
say in there about presenting a check with your bid, like a percentage,
This-
like
this
10% of
didn't.
the bid amount or whatever?
Yeah, no, this didn't, that's a foreclosure contract.
Was this 10% before?
I think so, of at least, well, I don't know.
And then this was
10%.
This was actually a letter that was sent out as an abutter to the property listed above. You are hereby notified of a sealed bid auction to be conducted. This was in 2015.
Mhm.
The bids will be opened at 5, so to let them know about. This was done on Blaisdell Corner, I guess. I have those.
How many have we got?
That want to sell? 2.
We'll do those two. I don't think we have others, do they, that are pressing? We have to do the Colonial one,
Yeah, I know.
or they're gonna start charging.
We got a lot of pieces that we own.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean you wanna sell them all.
No. That's why I said we let John look at them
Mhm.
to see what we should keep for the future.
Well, land, obviously.
Yeah, and actually, this is Belfast. I pulled this one out of Belfast. Bidders on requirements. The bidders are required to submit as follows: a bid sheet shall be submitted containing a full description of the property being bid upon, and the bid price is in U.S. currency. And then a certified cashier's check or postal money order in an amount not less than 10% of the bid price shall be included as a deposit on the bid.
Right.
Failure to submit a deposit shall cause the bid to be automatically rejected. They use that in theirs. I don't think we did that one that I read. Right to accept or this is basically an information sheet. Right to accept or reject bids. To disposition of deposits. They shall, as a credit to payment, retain the submitted bid price deposit of any bidder and shall return all other submitted deposits. Time limit for payment. 30 calendar days following the day when bids are opened and read. So, that was there. I found that. This was Standish. They actually have a code on tax acquired property. Disposition. For a 30-day period following the date of foreclosure, the Treasury may accept payment. The municipality shall solicit public bids for sale of the tax acquired property and shall receive open and read aloud submitted bids on the first day of August following foreclosure. That's fine. So this is send notice of impending sale via mail only to any and all prior owners of said property. So I guess that allows them so that they can buy it back, basically. And it says, with full payment of all, let's see, said prior owner may redeem the property within 30 days immediately following notification with full payment of all outstanding taxes, including a just value for the current year not assessed, liens, interest, and all costs, including but not limited to notice and insurance costs. That's what this does, it's just Standish allows. Municipal officer shall require the following: a bid sheet with a full description, and a check for 10%. So they do the same thing. Require those bid items cited in blah 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 to be sealed in a single plain envelope marked tax acquired property bid. Municipal officers generally will not accept any bid for a dollar amount less than the total outstanding taxes, including a just value for current year taxes not assessed, liens, interest, and all costs, including but not limited to public notice fees and insurance costs, appraisal fees, and fees as a result of clear title. So, I mean, we can reject, but I think, obviously we can't accept anything we probably shouldn't accept anything that's lower than the cost.
Well, if we put in a minimum bid, that this is what you have to bid, that's what's owed, that's what we're gonna.
Right. Yep.
Yep. And we just figure out what.
We'll have to have Jordan figure out what that is.
Yeah, they can just print it from the system, we'll know what's owed, and then just estimate.
We have to have fees and all that kind of stuff, yeah. This is Gray's bid process. Solicit sealed bids for sale tax. Bids shall be advertised to include the following: notice dated bid and minimum bid price, if any. Certified, so 10%, they do 10% as well. Single plain envelope tax acquired bid. The awarded bidder has 10 business days from the date of award to comply with the terms of the sale in full. So they give only 10 days rather than 3.
Elliot gives 15 days.
Must specify the bid is being conducted with reserve in order for the municipality to reserve the right to reject all bids that fail to comply with any minimum bid price. Should the awarded bidder fail to comply with the terms of the sale, the deposit shall be forfeited. They say municipal shall require the following for proper submission: description, 10%, self-addressed stamp envelopes must be included in the bid envelope, so we can respond back to them. They're saying 7 days prevailing, must be back 7 calendar days before the date the bids are to be read aloud. I don't know why. 7-day cooling off period. I don't know why, but like that. This was Winthrop, based in 2016. It was adopted. Sale and disposition procedures. May sell by competitive sealed bid as follows: establish the sale date, notify by certified mail all abutting property owners of the sale date, and also shall cause to be published a notice of such sale in local newspaper. Said notice shall be published at least once a week for 2 consecutive weeks. The notice also shall be posted within the town office, and shall specify the time and date bids or proposals are due, general terms of the sale, shall specify the following information for each piece of property: brief description, location, including its map and lot number, and the minimum bid requirement, if any. They may require minimum bid deposits of all bidders and shall retain such deposits as credit towards the purchase price. So that left the flexibility. It doesn't have to be 10, but they could. All the deposits shall be returned to the bidders within 15 days. Town may set a minimum bid when it feels that is in the best interest of the town. Bid shall be publicly opened and read at the date and the time specified. For bids submitted under the competitive proposal process, the town council reserves the right to accept or reject any bid or waive any requirements. For bids received on competitive bidding, shall sell the property to the highest bidder unless the bidder is unable to satisfy any of the other requirements of this policy. The bidder is not responsible as shown by a history of tax delinquency. So it gives them a couple of outs. Because I mean, you could, I've got the high bid and then they're questionable.
We've had that happen before.
Yep. Should the town council reject all bids, the property may again be offered for public sale under the terms deemed appropriate. Town council shall require payment in full within 30 days. Should the bidder fail to pay the full price within 30 days, the town shall retain the bid deposit and title of the property. Successful bidder shall accept the property in as is, where is condition, and be responsible for all obligations attendant to the property, including conditions imposed by the town council in the terms of the bid, if any. And those are conditions, again, that kind of, where the mobile home has to be removed. So you're not seeing any provision, so that's that. They have some provisions for owner repurchase. Are there any of these owners, one died, correct? So that's not an owner repurchase. What about, and then the abandoned one? Do we even know the owners of that one? The one that.
Oh, that's the one that died.
Well, yes, but the other guy is not deceased.
Do we have because we don't have a tax acquired policy
Not that I know of.
that we have or ordinance or anything.
Well,
so
didn't you find something? Didn't we used to vote on something, but then we didn't do that anymore.
The voting gives us authority to dispose of it.
But it used to have more details, but I think they don't have those anymore.
Right.
Which I do think a butter should be notified.
Yeah, I think that's a common courtesy.
Yeah.
If you have a property you want to buy that next to you, so that
absolutely.
You gotta have that at least know
Yeah.
that that's available. What do we do for prior owners? Do we give them that option?
I don't think we ever. I mean, they're welcome to bid like anybody else is. I don't know that we've ever actually
We gave them
gone
a lot
to
of
them.
chances this year.
Well, they kind of had their chances during the foreclosure process.
So they would go into the sealed bid process. Yeah.
I would think so, if they want to.
Right. Okay. So, that one sounded kind of good. Let's see, is that gray? That would be gray. That's gray. You got gray here twice. I'm always pretty simple. Sold by public bid advertised at least 2 weeks in advance of the sale, and at least they advertise in Democrat or on the town's webpage. This is Old Orchard Beach. This was from MMA. This was a sample ordinance policy for the maintenance, administration, and disposition of tax-acquired properties. Don't know when the date of it was. I know when I printed it, but I don't know when they did it. But the definition. Now again, we can look at maybe doing that eventually.
Well, absolutely, it probably would be a good idea.
So this is disposal. Shall solicit public bids for the sale. And shall receive open, read aloud, submitted bids on the first day of June, whatever. So send notice of impending sale via mail only to any and all prior owners of the said property, and shall be made at least 45 days prior to the scheduled sale. And the said owner may redeem the property within 30 days immediately following notification, with full payment of all outstanding taxes, including just value of current year taxes. Blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
Shall cause public sale and paying the tax sale be posted within the town office, the post office, and to be advertised for 2 successive weeks in the local paper and 3 successive days in blank news, daily news. The bid sheet containing full description, again 10%. 10% seems to be fairly standard. This officer shall require bids, say tax acquired property bid. Shall not accept any bid for a dollar amount less than the total amount of all everything that's owed. Acceptance of a lesser amount must be proposed to and approved by the voters at a town meeting.
Oh.
That's their proposed ordinance. That's actually probably not a bad way of doing it. That way you can't, depending on who's in there, you can't just sell it to a buck for.
Oh, absolutely.
So, shall retain the right to accept or reject any and all bids. Ensure they reject all bids. The property may be offered again for public sale without notice to any prior owners or owner or owners. So you don't have to provide out the notice the second time around. Shall notify via mail any successful bidder. That's why you enclose a self-addressed stamp envelope. So we don't have to pay for that. Shall as a credit to payment retain the submitted bid price deposit of any successful bidder, and we shall return all others. Shall require payment in full from any successful bidder within 30 calendar days following the date when bids are opened and read. Should the bidder fail to pay for the full balance, the municipality shall retain the bid price deposit and title to the proper property. May subject to a show of good faith on the part of the bidder, extend the time limit for one time only, additional 20 days in which full payment must be received. Shall issue a quitclaim deed to convey title to tax acquired property. Shall be responsible, the bidder shall be responsible for the removal of any and all occupants of purchased tax acquired property, and shall, in writing, forever indemnify and save harmless the municipality from any and all claims arising out of the sale of the tax brought by the occupants of the purchased property, the heirs or assigns. And again, I'm sure Bernstein has some standard thing that we'll get from them that they sign off on. So that's that.
In Elliott, it says.
This is around 96, it looks like, is when they actually did that one.
In Elliott, they also have bidders are strongly encouraged to seek legal assistance concerning matters related to the properties, including but not limited to title, encumbrances, permitted activities or uses, occupancy, or regarding tenants. All properties are offered and sold by the town on an as-is basis with no express or implied warranties as to title, condition, acreage, or boundaries, environmental matters, suitability, or fitness for any purpose. So they put it in there that, you know, do your own thing, you know.
Yeah, this is notice of tax sale, the Selectmen, so this is the one that they did in 2012. Bids will be open reviewed. Properties for sale are Shapley and Station Lane. This was a notice of sale, just all bids must for complete information contact or visit our website. This was just a quick.
There we go. Well, there it is. Maybe all the other papers are on the website, I don't know.
Same one a year later, pretty similar. This was So actually, this was another one, let's say the same one, but they did, mobile home only will have to be moved down here.
Mhm.
That was, this is a sample area, please inform you of the high bidder for the above mentioned mobile home located. Prior to any removal or demolition, you are required in town ordinance to apply for and receive a permit from the CEO to pay for applicable fees. Yeah, so a mobile home, you have to have a permit to move it. So it's that. This was the notice, I guess, for the list of properties where whatever. This was another bill of sale. This was in August 2012. This is the bill of sale for the mobile light home that they used.
I think I screwed up.
Huh.
That's the one that we ended up having to clean up.
This is a purchase and sale agreement. To sell it, Alan E. Shepherd. What the hell his name is here? That's fine. Purchase paid a sum of $1,000 to be held by Shepherd and Reed in escrow. Yeah, because I guess we have to have, we probably do, I guess we do need to keep deposits in escrow, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually we don't.
No.
Well, only if we cash them.
Right. And would,
And if we see the bids and we open up the same day, then
yeah, you're just gonna return.
we just return all the checks, right? This was a 2016. The letter informing the above referenced property will be sold by sealed bid, public auction on 2015. This was 2009. This is a public auction.
Mm-hmm.
And this was 2009. It's just somebody. So, I guess what do you want to do? You want to, and you've got, do you have what they actually use there as well? When was the last time they updated that one?
When did we just do this? It wasn't that long ago.
Do we do it?
We just did it in June.
Do we do them separately because they're really kind of two distinct properties as far as we're talking about quitclaim deed versus bill of sale? Or do we do it, the notice of sale can be the same, we can just list the properties, right?
And then there's, they have two, in Elliott, we give them a bid sheet. This is what your name, your address, your phone number, what you're bidding.
Does it say the property on there too?
It's over here, but yes. They have it, because we only had one, we had one mobile home. That
Right,
was in a
so
park.
we got two, you gotta
Yeah.
put down a description
Yeah.
of what, right?
Yeah, so, whatever we, legally have to put in it, I think is good, and then we have to put what they want in it too.
So I guess what are our steps? So we need to go, we need to get I want to get the right terminology, whatever.
Well, we have it as terms and conditions for submitting a bid on a foreclosed property, that's what we had.
Is that what you give them?
Yes, and then on one page, we had, what it was and what we wanted the money to be, the official notice.
So we have to do a notice of tax sale though, correct?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So that's the first thing we have to create though, basically?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
And then as soon as we do that, we better have the description on everything because people are gonna come in. I don't know how many people, but we need to have bid packets prepared so that.
It's what's on seems we had the last time, we had the deed number.
Well, that, yes, and.
So you're saying we need like an informational sheet and the
Right,
bid?
like a map of the property. We used to give them a map, the tax map that showed the property, like
So,
if it's R10
Hold on a
lot.
second here, I'm just writing
Okay.
this down so we know, so I know all the different things we need to do. We need to have a bid packet,
Yeah,
and in that bid packet is going to be a description.
and like colonials obviously will be easier, kinda.
Description, with any terms, would
Yeah,
that be correct?
with this,
So like obviously with that, it has to be removed.
yeah, and whatever they say, they want a waiver and they want $500 deposit. With colonial, but it says it right there,
Yeah.
what they want.
So description with terms, so we
Yeah.
need that. I'm just saying in general, so we can also maybe eventually put all this stuff into a policy. So we need description with terms, we need a map.
We usually give them like, the map and lot sheet, the big
Map.
map with the property, and we some kind like outline it or highlight it so they
Map
know.
lot sheet, okay.
And
And then, would we give them terms, what's that, what is that thing called?
that's terms and conditions for submitting a bid on a foreclosed property.
Terms and conditions?
Yeah.
So that's easy.
And what we did is, what they did for this one, they just, like I said, this is the sheet that they wanted them to turn in.
That's fine,
'cause we-
so it's called, and they call it a bid form, which is
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
So those are kind of the three, if we have those four things
Mhm.
as a package, staple them all together, and we can print them off
Absolutely.
and staple them, just boom.
Yeah, it makes
And we
it
can also,
easier for
we can
them.
also put them on, we can
Are
also,
we putting down 10%
well, we can also,
Yeah, that would be
that's
another-
that's on
that
terms
would
and
be in
conditions,
terms.
right?
balance,
Yeah.
transfer of deed?
And we can tell them what we want, like on this was just a mobile home, but we put the tax map, the address, and the interest to be sold, which is a mobile home on rented land, and then we put blah, 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 blah.
That's the notice, right?
Yeah, but
Which
we
is
put
the-
this in the packet, so then they know, like, they had to pay this is what our minimum bid was.
So I'm gonna say a copy of, in the bid pack, I'm gonna go copy of notice. So we do a separate notice for each
You'd
one?
have to, well, we could put them all in the same pack, but we'd have to make separate ones, yes, I would think.
Just to be clear, rather than say, here's a list of the properties, it's better to do it.
Oh, yeah,
And plus the conditions are different with this
yeah,
one, so,
absolutely.
alright. So a copy of the notice in that, and
Mhm.
so they can, that part of the packet, this may be different depending on which one they want. But we'll give them a copy of that
Yeah.
notice.
And
And
then,
again, we can put all of those forms online as well.
absolutely.
You think we ought to put land with abandoned trailer for that cemetery?
Well,
road?
they're gonna know,
Well, yeah.
cause obviously they're gonna look at it.
Well, they should go look at it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if they're doing it blind,
And
that's their,
with this one, we have to change the lock, cause they don't
Right.
have the key, so we're gonna have to change the lock.
that's right, we talked about that, I
Yeah,
gotta go in
'cause-
through the back door,
Yeah, they said.
or the back window.
And they suggested if people wanted to look at it, that we set up a certain day between
So-
2 and 4. If you wanna look at it, you come now, or 1 and 3 or whatever.
Okay, so we gotta create a
Especially for this one, because
right,
the others, they can drive
so
by
we
and
gotta
look.
create a notice of sale, we gotta put a bid packet together, all those items, that's really all we need for documents, correct?
I would think so,
For,
yeah.
to start.
Yeah,
Going backwards, we're gonna mail abutters.
yes.
We're gonna mail abutters, and how soon in advance? And how soon do we put out the notice of tax sale?
Well, I probably as soon as we can get all this stuff together, you know.
No, I'm trying to go backwards as far as
Um,
how much time do we give between when the bids are due and the notice goes out? 30 days
Probably.
or 45 days or
I think a month's good. Don't you think a month is good?
so 30 days.
We know we have people interested in both properties, so.
Right, from when bid is due. Going backwards, and then do the abutters get mailed at the same time that we put out a notice?
Yeah, I would, yeah.
Okay. So,
And I'd mail this
and that's
just
just
regular
regular
mail.
mail. Yeah,
I wouldn't,
yeah,
good
yeah.
grief.
No, I agree.
It cost us a fortune.
I agree. So we need that letter, which we
Yeah.
have one, but that's easy.
And then we can just make a little poster, kinda, that we can hang up in the town office.
Or we can just do the notice of sale.
Yeah, yeah,
We're gonna put it on the website.
yeah, but I mean,
Just
just
like
so,
the public hearing she puts on the door, we put a notice of
Yeah.
sale right on the door.
right, so, maybe in colored paper or bright paper so somebody sees it, but, so they can't say.
Put a couple at transfer station.
Yeah, the sign out front, yeah.
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 Okie dokie.
No,
So is that, am I missing something?
I don't think so, maybe when we look at it, we'll say, oh, we should have done this or whatever, but.
So we need to come up with, do you wanna make a copy of this, or
Yeah,
can we
did I
write,
give
can we
you a
rate it?
copy of that?
No. Oh, is that in your,
I don't
the
know.
Elliott one and the one you gave us?
Well, where's your letter from Colonial?
I don't know, right here. Is
I think
the Elliott in there?
It is.
Oh.
Oh, maybe it isn't. Maybe, you just have all the paperwork on.
I just
Yeah,
got-
I'll make a copy of this. Can you? Yeah, just,
Well, I just thought that maybe we can kinda go through those
Yeah,
terms
just
and
look at
conditions
it.
and mark it
Yeah.
up.
Some people just came in.
oh, they can't lock the door because we're here.
No, Rebecca's there.
Oh, okay. Your daughter's one of them. Isn't that your daughter? What is she doing? It is.
Do you want me to introduce you?
That's my daughter. Most people get football practice.
Gosh, football already.
I just thought we can kinda go through,
Absolutely.
what do
just,
we wanna change, what do we agree with, whatever,
Yeah.
we can mark
I mean,
that up, why reinvent the wheel?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, this is what we did.
Yeah, cause I mean, looking through a lot of these, they're all pretty similar. So. No, I agree, I mean, I agree with not having to mail the previous owner because we're very generous on the front side. Before
Absolutely,
we get to
and
that-
like
before we
I
get to
said
that
to
process.
Jordan, I said to him, you're gonna foreclose when do they foreclose? January? Is that when that happens? January, February, whatever, but I said, before we get to that point, I said, run a list and give him a little friendly letter and telling, all you have to do is pay this, which is the 1 year before it gets,
Right.
give him that, and sometimes it helps, I
Yep.
mean,
Right.
sometimes people come in, you can.
I have that, right. I didn't have this, okay.
I don't know if it's in the right order, but whatever. Oh, maybe this is the front page. Probably I got it going the wrong way. That's probably the front page, the tax sale, and then this is probably the next page, but yeah.
Yeah, fine. Tax sale, huh? Doesn't it?
Well, do you know what I mean? Did you do this?
No,
Oh, it's not on there?
no,
Did you do this? That's probably the only thing that's missing then.
right.
This is probably the front page. When I put the packet together, I
Oh,
think that's
gotcha,
probably,
gotcha.
this
Right,
is what it is,
right.
blah, blah, blah. And then this is probably the second page.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so do you wanna just go copy this? Okay, that's all right. And whatever works.
That works.
Sorry.
No,
Thank
no,
you. That's okay. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I think that's the front page, so yeah, let me look at the
Do
others.
we wanna do 15 days on the successful bidder or 30?
I'd say, I think 15 days is fine. I mean, if they know they're gonna buy it. I mean, I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. But Colonial's giving them 2 weeks to get it out of there.
Oh, that's,
Yeah,
yeah, so they need to be ready.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I would think if you're gonna bid, I
Okay.
mean,
You're generous, that's,
In a perfect world, if they're the ones that get it, then we won't have any problems,
Right.
but you don't know.
Yep. Number 6 is interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what that.
Well, I mean, in case a successful bidder backs out or something happens, now you have somebody else. But I'd say,
Yeah, I wouldn't do
I mean,
that.
because we're gonna open them up anyways, we're
Yeah.
gonna know what they are.
Yeah.
So after we go through this whole process, I mean, we can.
Yep.
So I don't think we need 6.
Nope.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why number 7 is for the.
Yep.
Is for that, so we'd have to kind of fine tune that.
Yep.
Because if we're holding somebody's cash, now if we're holding somebody's check, because then we're almost,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know how the legal part of that happens with escrow and all that kind of stuff, so I don't wanna hold anybody's check other than the successful bidder.
No, absolutely. If we have to
So,
go back after someone, well,
then withdraw, holding case, paragraph, new system bidders. So basically that gets rid of 7 then as well, right?
yeah. No, that's great, well, we
On
don't have-
transfer of the properties that are sold, the town will return all remaining,
No, we can get rid of that too.
well, I'd say, upon,
Upon,
acceptance of successful bidder or something like that. And I can look at the other ones, but basically it's just saying that we will return all the deposits.
oh, see, and they said they attached a deed, maybe they did.
Says conveyance of all properties will be by municipal tax release deed. That's not what we do though, do we?
No. We don't do that. I mean, because we're gonna.
Would it be,
Oh, so,
would
yeah,
it be
'cause-
quick claim deed, can't we try to make this universal, say quick claim deed or bill of sale depending on type of property?
yeah, yep. And I don't know if did it give a description of that mobile home more so than, I mean.
Which
you
one?
gotta go see it anyway.
Which
Well, I
one?
know, but I'm just saying because you could,
The demolished one? Oh,
no, the one on Upper Middle, because like what kind is it or whatever. We might have that in the system.
yeah, that may be in the,
I think it's a
Skyline
Burlington,
or
I think it's a
Burlington.
Burlington.
we'll
Somebody
need that
said
for the description.
Yeah, I just think that would be,
Yep.
yeah, okay,
10 is, I think is fine. I
yeah,
think that's
I
good.
think that's a good idea. 11,
I'm sure that was their legal that told them to put that one in.
bid materials, yeah, the town is under no obligation to accept any bid, the town will.
I think that was good. I
Yeah,
think that's good, it
it's
gets us to
simple.
start. The bid form we can do.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
simple,
So we can,
I think that's simple.
so shall we, you wanna push for next Thursday to review this stuff?
Yeah.
To see where we're at and
Sure.
look at, try to get draft copies of all this stuff for what we're doing and then let's see where we're at and then.
Yeah.
We'll go from there.
And we can get the prices, I mean, what's owed.
Yeah, cause Jordan will be back, so
Yeah.
he can help us with that.
Taxes, and then we can estimate what the taxes would be for,
So all
This year.
costs, right?
and put that in there too, because they're not gonna get a tax bill this year.
Yep.
And estimate next year. Okay.
Alright. And then just, so we're looking at account 1180, which is mobile home, 62 upper middle, which is R08-048. And the other one is account 1464, which is also mobile home with lot, 16 cemetery, and R9 47 C. Okay.
I'll go take a ride up there and see if there's a well in the septic tank on the cemetery road.
On the cemetery road one?
So we'll know.
Yeah.
If they wanna know.
I would think so.
Yeah, I would think so. But I don't know. There's gotta be.
Been abandoned for quite a while.
Yeah, it has.
Well, probably, yeah, they need to know.
Maybe.
Yep. Yeah, that's fine. So,
You do your detective work.
do we need to get permission from Colonial to go on the property, look at that mobile home? Since it's their land? Like if I need to see if I can get in.
Well, yeah, we gotta change, they told me we gotta change the lock because they have no key for that and they don't,
Is that just a doorknob?
I
Type of
don't
thing?
know. Well, I didn't think so because they,
Or is there a
maybe
padlock?
that's
Somebody padlock it?
maybe that's why there was no, that's why maybe I knew it was a Burlington. Was because of, yeah, I'll stop there tomorrow and ask them. Kristen's usually there.
Yeah, and then let me know, cause I can go up there this weekend and see if I can, if it's a door lock type of thing.
I think it was a different kind of door because it was a Burlington. I almost remember him because I think he said it was some kind of different lock. I do
Or do
recall.
they may even have, do they even have one maybe? Could we buy one from them and,
I don't know. I'll ask him though.
because again, we'll put that in the cost of this, and we'll get reimbursed,
Oh, absolutely.
so.
Yeah,
Or I can go to Home Depot and buy something to, I don't know, I'll
absolutely.
find a way in.
Yeah.
So. I don't know what else I've got, folks, I think that's, except I lost my agenda again. It's okay,
Probably
I
not hard.
think I'm done. Do you guys have any questions? Yes, sir.
Dean McHugh, I want to advise you that the northeast pond was, the chemical was put in.
Yep.
It was, they used an airboat.
Yep. Saw some
and it
pictures,
passed back and forth for treating the naiad.
Good, alright. How tall is the naiad, do you know, right now?
I do not know.
Cause I saw some of the pictures of that boat and it still stirs up quite a lot, so I'm always wondering, I understand they're using the airboat so that they don't break it apart, but yet it looks like it still stirs it up pretty good, so I'm wondering whether that's, depending on how tall the plants are,
Want me to
whether
make
that
a
still
motion?
stirs it up.
Not
I
yet.
think Laura Callahan is going to be at Fennel Shores.
And I saw Laurie last weekend over at Everett's Cove, and while we were there, they identified some naiad growing just off of the dock area, and she went in and pulled it up and showed me. It wasn't very tall, and she was very happy to see that it had not gone to flower yet. So I think that was kind of the idea, was to get it before it germinated so that it would produce seeds.
Yep.
So she was happy to see that she had thought it had reached a good height for using the chemical, and she was glad to see that it hadn't started to even bud yet. So
Good.
I think it was still fairly small.
Yep, good, alright. Anything else, sir?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
I should print this. Cause I that some of
I'm good to shut off your video.
Yeah.
This was appealed, I just turned off the website. so
Oh, okay.
I didn't know if some of it was just wasn't